It's time for fun. It's time to sing and dance all around. Time to learn and ask questions too with all of my friends and Pinky the Jackalope too. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hey Rachel.
Hiya, Nick.
Woohoo! Woo, we're having fun today, folks. Oh, everyone's coming in to join us for the webinar.
I can never
It's
sit still when Nick's playing, so if you want to just like give yourself a little wiggle, shake out what happened today, whatever it was, we're gonna let it
Woo, I
go.
can do that.
We're gonna
Time
have
for
some fun.
music, it's time for fun. Time to sing and dance all around. Time to learn and ask questions too with all of our Head Start friends. And Pinky the Jackalope too. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hello, friends. Woohoo! Oh man,
All
we're
right,
gonna
all
have fun.
right. I am being told I need to switch up my audio settings just to make sure everyone, hopefully that works. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this latest webinar on tackling behaviors that challenge us. My name is Rachel Hutchison. I'm the Senior Manager of Online Instructional Design here at NHSA, here with my good friend Nick Young. Nick, the Music Man, who has been a professional preschool musician for at least 3 decades. He has seen it all, done it all, and is still having fun. So we're going to learn how to bring that into your classroom spaces today. Couple of housekeeping notes for you. We do have 2 more of these sessions scheduled for this year, and we have plenty of them archived on our website. So if you like what you see today, please do go dig further into this series. It is free for you to use, lots of great ideas, practical tips you can put into practice in your classroom right away. We love that about this series. We also have our classroom management credential, so if you want to dig deeper with our experts, we hope you will join us in class. Everyone is on mute just because there's usually quite a few of you here, and there is today. Welcome. So please put your questions in the chat. Nick is great about calling those out, and we're looking for some participation today. So get ready. This is being recorded. The recording and resources will all be available to you in a follow-up email. If you're here live, you will also receive an email with a certificate of completion today. So watch for that. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in. My camera angle is a little different today because while we are normally joined by the incomparable Dr. B, Dr. Deb Bergeron, she had other obligations today. So I brought a new friend. Well, she won't be new to all of you, but we have someone else here to help us demonstrate having fun,
Oh
even
yes,
when behaviors get a little challenging.
my friend. I can't
So
wait.
we are going to talk about tackling challenging behaviors by having fun or working through those behaviors and maintaining the fun in your classroom. And that I understand that is probably the last thing on your mind when you're faced with a behavior that you are struggling to understand. Is like, oh, we should all just have some fun right now. It's not typically the headspace we go into. So we'll start a little bit with a discussion about why we are talking about fun. And it fits into our trust first philosophy as one of the 4 tires on the car, as if you will, that are called ARF. Okay, see, there's 4 elements that everybody has to have in balance in order to feel good about themselves and to be present in the classroom. So ARF is A, R, F, and F. We're going to focus on this last F today. But just so you know, the 4 elements are achievement. Everyone needs to feel good about the things that they're able to do and accomplish. Respect. Everyone needs to feel that their body and self are respected by those around them. Freedom. We all need a little space to do our own thing at all ages. And fun. Everybody needs to be able to have a little fun, whatever that means to them, without interfering with anybody else's turf. So today
Yeah.
we're going to focus on that last, the fun part.
And Rachel, I think we're focusing on the last F, but all 4 of those are a part of what we're presenting today because we are those that's all elements of music and movement and how we work with children in the classroom and use our class management techniques. But absolutely, that's awesome. I'm excited.
It's super important. It's really hard to break them out and just talk about one of them, really, because Achievement is fun. Often you're doing something fun that gives you that sense of achievement, and you feel respected when other people notice that you're doing something well. So they all feed each other. But if you eliminate any one of those, you're going to have a kid who's out of balance, and they might start exhibiting behaviors that make you go, something's not right here. You're out of balance. I think maybe you haven't felt sense of achievement lately. Let's give you something you can do. It's going to make you feel good about you. Or maybe we've been working so hard on that one thing that we're having so much trouble with that we haven't had any fun in a while. We need to lighten things up. So it all matters. It all has to be in balance. But in music and movement time in particular, Nick, a lot of teachers get kind of cold sweats thinking about trying to do that because it does not sound like fun from a teacher's perspective. Let's talk a little bit about why that is. Why wouldn't music and movement be fun?
Well, I think one of the big reasons that early childhood educators, maybe if they are doing music and movement, they're doing it in a really limited way that may not be taking advantage of all the wonderful gifts that it has to offer, is because they feel like, oh my gosh, my students are so wild, they're so full of all this nervous energy, and they're still learning their social skills, and just keeping them safe in the classroom is challenging. So if I start bringing in all this music and movement and these activities that involve a lot of physical movement around the group space, then I'm going to end up having kids that start getting injured, or they're just going to go wild and take over, and then I won't be able to control them, and then they'll be just bouncing off the walls. Because I think sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like got the tiger by the tail. I got to maintain control, and if I let them get too crazy, then it's all going to be out of my control. So I think what we want to do is we want to kind of turn that on its head and say the most important thing is to take all that energy and channel it into something that's amazing and creative and cooperative, and will really be a boost to their social development and their impulse control, among so many different things.
And it's such great imagery. I'm sure you all caught that, that rather than trying to control the energy, you're trying to channel it. And that is a lot of what Nick and I have talked about when it comes to having fun, is that it really requires you to be flexible and open. The moment you start doing this, you're not having any fun. This is not fun. It feels important. There's a lot of, things we have to think about and stay in control of in the classroom. And nobody's saying not to take that seriously, but when it comes to fun, we have to be willing to let go of some of the things that maybe aren't as important. Maybe it is okay to let the kid wiggle a little bit more. Maybe it is okay to change up your plan. I'm a planner, as Nick knows. That's not always easy for me to do. Um, is there anything else that you want to highlight on the front end here, Nick, before we get into what we're really excited about doing today?
One of the things, like for me, my emphasis on class management involves a lot of subtle tools and techniques, but the main one that's 90% for me when I'm leading a music group with preschoolers is to just make the activities and my presentation of those activities incredibly engaging and attractive, so that the group just naturally wants to participate, and I don't have to micromanage all the individual children and tiny little behaviors, because I feel like once you start kind of nitpicking and going, telling this one child move over here, it's all this kind of like micromanaging, then you stifle the creative energy in the room, and you stifle their sense of that freedom element of the ARF,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of make them feel like they don't have agency, or they're not able to be creative and be independent, and it just becomes kind of like this dictatorial situation that we all cannot stand, and it's not we don't want to be doing that as teachers and educators in our classrooms every day.
Yeah, it's exhausting. That's really hard to maintain. It's not fun for anybody. But it's also not fun when you have a little friend who will not control their body, or maybe throws an instrument at you, or maybe has their own idea about how we should be spending this time.
Absolutely. And yeah, so I think we're going to do some demonstrating today. with our friend who's coming, just a little bit, one of my favorite people in the world. I don't know if we're ready to announce who it is yet, but she is amazing. I've done a ton of work with this individual. She is just super duper, and I'm excited to see her. But we're going to demonstrate, and we're also going to invite all the people on the Zoom with us to join in and be a part of the music group that we're presenting as well.
Okay, so here we go, folks. We are going to switch things up. If you've been to these webinars before, you know that it's usually our experts sharing ideas and tips and tricks and philosophies with you, which we are still doing. But we thought with fun in particular, this is a great place to do a little bit of role play and modeling. So I've brought a friend today. Her name is Pinky Jackalope, and she would love to demonstrate for you what some of these challenging behaviors look like. And then Nick is going to demonstrate how he might redirect her energy if it was in said situation.
Yes,
So
and
I'm going to get
nervous. I'm a little nervous here.
She loves to give her friend Nick a hard time. So get ready, everybody. This is going to be fun because more than likely you'll recognize some of this. And I hope that by lightening the mood a little bit, you'll go, oh, you know what? I know what that looks like. I know how that feels. And now I have some new ideas about how I might be able to go with that flow. All right, Nick. So what happened? What scenario? Should we ask our friends? What scenario do we want to
I think how about this? We'll start the music group. Everyone can join in, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, everybody. You're all in music time now, including Pinky Jackalope.
Hi, Pinky.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, Pinky. It's so good to see you today.
It's good to see me. I know.
Are you ready for music time?
Yeah, I love music time.
All right, so we're going to shake our hands. All my friends, shake your hands. Here we go. Shake, shake, shake your hands. Shake, shake, shake your hands. Shake, shake, shake your hands. Now get up. It's time to stand up and jump. Jump, jump, jump so high. Jump, jump, jump so high. Jump, jump. Uh-oh. You know what, Pinky? I'm noticing your body is super close to me right now. You're so close.
I love to be close to you, Mr. Nick.
That is awesome. But you know what? We all need to have our space around our body. In fact, let's put on our invisible bubble right now. Put your invisible bubble around your body.
Oh, I have one of those. Okay.
Okay, put on your bubble. That bubble means that you're not going to bump into your friends while we're doing our music time. Make sure you move where there's room to go without bumping your friends. Okay, now jump and clap. 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 Make your feet go tap, tap, tap. Woo, stretch up high, stretch. Stretch up high, stretch. Stretch up high, stretch. Stretch up high, wiggle your fingers far and wide. Woo! Okay, my friends, you know what? Right now, I see my friend Pinky has an animal, a zebra. So we are going to move our bodies like some different kinds of animals. So that means we have to put on your invisible bubble around your body. And
Put on your invisible bubble.
That's right. Okay. The first animal is a spider crawling on the floor. Show me how you crawl like a spider. Spiders are creeping. Woo! Spiders are creeping. Spiders are creeping. Spiders are creeping.
Oh, wait.
Creep around the circle. Stop. Don't forget your invisible bubble around your body. Now slither like a snake. Snakes that slither. Snakes that slither. Snakes that slither. Snakes that slither.
No, I don't want you. It hurt my knee trying to slither. It didn't feel good.
Uh-oh. Well, you know what? Let's sit down and let's pass out the instruments. So all my friends, it's time for instruments. So we're going to get our shakers, our bells, our triangles, our drums.
No, but I don't want that one. I wanted to use my trumpet. Where's the trumpet?
Well, you know what? I'm noticing that my friend Pinky, when I passed out the instruments, she didn't care for the one that I gave her, and so she's choosing not to play it. I've passed a shaker to my friend Pinky, and she just shoved it right back over the floor towards me.
Want it. No.
So here's what I like to do when this happens. I take that instrument and I put it on the rug, not right up close to my friend, but I put it right there where they can reach it. And I say, I'm going to put this right here. And if you would like to, you can play it. So we're going to keep
No,
on
I
going
don't
with our
want
instrument time. Okay, well, here we go. We're going to play our instruments. Here we go, friends. Let me hear the music as we play our instruments. Let me hear the music as we play our instruments. Let me hear the music as we play our instruments. We play and then we stop. Shaker! Let me hear the music as we play the shaker. Let me hear the music as we play the shaker. Let me hear the music as we play the shaker. We play and then we stop. Everybody, everybody play together. Everybody play. Everybody play together. We play and then we stop. 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 We play and we play a whole bunch more. Yahoo!
No, I was having too much fun moving. I didn't want to stop. I don't
Well,
like
I understand that, Pinky. And that's an example of one of the behaviors that I would not stop the whole music time over to try to micromanage and correct that. So if a child, hey, this song we're doing has a part where the instruments stop, and there's some of the children are playing their instrument during the stop time, and a lot of times they're doing it because it's like, oh, aren't I cute? And I'm going to get attention for doing
Yes,
this.
I did.
I'm just going to keep on moving on forward. It's not that big of a deal, because when we pass out these instruments, we're making sure that none of them are super duper loud. And that means that even if they are playing during a quiet part of the song, it's not going to be super disruptive.
Yeah,
Unless
you
it
didn't
is
break my
something
trumpet. That would have been really disruptive.
that could have been. Drums can be super loud. So some of the instruments that we don't tend to use are big cymbals and even tambourines. Those are instruments that can be very, very loud. So we'll just have instruments that are easy to hold and they all kind of have an equal volume. That helps in that.
Oh, sounds like maybe you made some choices that set you up for success, Mr. Nick.
That's right. So Pinky, I think you had a good idea earlier. Why don't we invite all of our friends who are here with us today to post in the chat if they have a specific type of challenging behavior that they've been encountering in the classroom that they would like us to specifically address. Do we have anyone that has? I'm sure there's some good ones.
I put that out there as an option, not knowing if he would feel that brave.
Okay, running around the room. And you know what's one of the great things about this, Pinky, is you're 4 years old. We can even talk to you and ask you questions that we don't always get to ask of a 4-year-old. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get my glasses on here. What do we see here? All right, so I saw running around the room. Oh boy, do we have a lot of ideas here. Okay. Yes, indeed. Oh, and we like the bubble idea. That's good. Okay, so running around the room is now, hopefully you have a co-teacher available. And if, we don't want to micromanage, but running is one of those behaviors that starts to become unsafe if the children are seriously running in the classroom. And that's not one of the physical activities that we want to be having in the classroom. So there may actually need to be, okay, my co-teacher is going to handle that situation. And that child, I will say, I always say, I'm noticing, Pinky, your body's not ready for music today.
My body?
That's right. I see that you're running, and that means your body's not ready for music. Are you able to make your body ready for music today?
Well, maybe I should take some breaths.
Yeah, you could take some breaths, and if you're able to make your body ready for music right now, then we can move on with our instrument time and have fun in music. But if you're not able to make your body ready, then we may have to have you take a break until you're ready to come back and join the group. And so we're giving a choice, and the child may say, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to come back right now. Or they may not. They may choose to take a break for longer. That's totally up to them. When they do come back, then we say, okay, Pinky, I'm going to be noticing how your body's ready for music right now. And you have your invisible bubble around you, and you're making it work in the music time. But if I notice your body's not ready, then you will have to take a break. So I kind of give those choices. The child comes back. A lot of times it's like 100% great after that. A lot of times it's not, and I may even have to give them another chance to take a break. And then with a child that has that really consistent, challenging behavior, I will have a meeting with that child before the music time starts. So I'll come in for music time and I'll say, "Hey, Pinky,
Hi, Mr. Nick.
hi, I know we're going to have so much fun in music time today. Are you ready for
Yeah, I'm
music?"
gonna run all over the place.
Well, Pinky, I know that you're going to have so much fun. You're going to play the instruments, you're going to do all the fun things,
Well, I
but
do want to do that.
I'm going to be noticing if your body's ready for music today.
Oh,
And if you're not ready, if you're choosing to bump your friends, you might have to take a break. So I'll give that
um,
really short little pep talk. And I don't make a big deal out of it. I'm not telling them they're doing something wrong. I'm just giving them those choices and letting them know what those boundaries and guidelines are going to be. And then we kind of set
what
that up.
about what about when you have two friends and they just love each other, Mr. Nick, and they won't stop touching each other face?
That's
But
right. We're
I
doing a
want to touch
song.
your face. I want to touch your face. I want to touch your face. I'm touching your face. I like your face.
That's right. So, Pinky, that's a great example. Now, sometimes we're doing a music time, we're tapping our foot. Tap one foot, make it bounce up and down. Yee-hoo! And I've got Pinky and her friend are right next to each other in the group, and they like to. There's her friend Rachel, and they like to wrestle on the playground and stuff. So they just are like elbowing each other and body slamming against them. And what I'll do is I'll say, "Pinky, I've got a special spot for you right over here." And I still have my song going. Song is still going, and I'm Pinky right over here. Now Pinky probably kind of knows what I'm up to,
A
but
little bit.
I really make it sound fun. I say, "You're going to be my helper." I might even pull that one out. And I'll say, "Okay, Pinky, your spot's right over your special spot." And that child will move over there. And then that child is not right next to her friend Rachel. And a lot of times that will kind of diffuse that situation. And we call it adjusting the chemistry of the group by moving certain
Oh,
children to a new space. But I don't want to stop the song. I don't want to stop the activity. I don't need to stop when I'm doing that because I don't want to lose the momentum of the group. I don't want to go into micromanaging mode. I just want to do it as a fun part of what we're doing. And that way I keep everybody engaged. Because as soon as I say, "Oh, everybody stop, 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 stop. We have to come over here and focus on this one child," then everybody's kind of like looking around the classroom like, what else can I get involved in right now? Because
And it's
they're all just,
almost an incentive, right? Once you get to know the kids, you kind of know what they're after. And if it's attention, like somebody's always after, then,
uh-huh.
by stopping everything in order to focus on them, you've almost reinforced what you don't want to happen. So I've seen Nick do this in action where we just keep on flow and we don't give too much tension or too much emphasis on the things we don't want to see. There's lots of attention and emphasis on the things that are so fun to do. And we all get to do them together, kind of in our own way. And then once you've done it, there's lots of praise and cheering, and we all respect each other's space and bodies. So really, all four aspects of the art are in play when music time is going well. And it, as Nick said, it's a chemistry thing. It is not a math equation. There is no like once you have added 2 + 2, you're always going to get 4.
Mm, yeah.
It really, every kid's coming to the classroom every day in a different frame of mind. You never quite know what you're going to run into, right? That's the joy and the terror of preschool. When you have built relationships with the kids that are based on trust, you're more likely to get the responses that you're looking for. Pinky and Nick are good buddies. They have played together a lot. They know each other well. Pinky loves Nick. Doesn't mean that she's never going to mess up or do things that bother him. For the most part, she wants positive attention from him. And she knows that when he asks for something, she can trust that it's in her best interest. So a preschooler is never going to say all those words, but that is what we're going for in our classroom management credential and in all of these strategies that Nick teaches. So as you might notice, Nick, I'm kind of wrapping us up because we're getting towards the
Oh
last
my
few minutes.
gosh. Oh my gosh. We're just starting to
I
have
know.
fun. There's
I
so
know.
many good questions in here I'm looking at. And I think, some of these are like, well, if I pass these instruments out to my students, what if they just start throwing them or hitting kids with them? Those are extreme behaviors that may need really specific, special guidance and attention as those children are getting, developing their impulse control and social skills. But I think it's like when you're presenting these kinds of activities, one of the most engaging things you can do is pass out drum shakers, bells, or maybe just a collection of egg shakers, because these are real small, lightweight, kind of hard to hurt yourself with those or hurt somebody else with those. If a child is just hucking it across the room, I mean, I did have a child throw one of these at me yesterday in class. So it happens. But you know what I did? I just said, okay, I'm putting that one in my bag. And we just kept on going. I didn't even stop the song. And then, when that child was looking around for an instrument, I said, are you ready to hold it in your hand but not throw it? And I was able to have that interaction. And these children, they're testing the limits. They're learning about what's appropriate. And sometimes they have to like push the boundaries and have like a gentle but firm boundary that they're going to come up against. And that's the very challenging and yet very rewarding job that we all do as early childhood educators.
I see a lot in the chat about those really challenging behaviors that usually have to do with a big feeling, right? The kids are really struggling with a big feeling. And I know that we talk to some extent in our classroom management credential about naming those and helping the kids to understand them. I'm sure some of you have feeling boards in your classroom. That gets more into our social emotional learning literacy credential. But there is aspects of that in classroom management for sure, right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, once you go through the all three components of the class management credential that we have at the NHSA Academy, you're going to have so many tools. I mean, trust first, that's the foundation, and it's a whole mindset switch and a whole different way of creating a culture in your classroom that is absolutely magic, and that's the one that Dr. B teaches. And then Hayes and I come along with our courses that follow up on that. And you're going to have all the tools.
At the end of the day, I always reiterate this, there's no magic formula. There are lots of great ideas and strategies out there. And at the end of the day, if you're working diligently to build good relationships with your kids, when those moments come, when they have melted down and lost control and they're throwing things and they're having a hard time keeping their bodies in line, they already know that they can trust you to take care of them. And you know that you can trust them to cool down and make better choices next time. And so that keeps your positive classroom momentum moving forward. But it's not an overnight thing. So I highly encourage you to come to our classroom management credential and dig in with our experts and spend time really processing and thinking about this, because at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about making your teaching experience as joyful as it can possibly be. And these tools will help you do that. So,
And one more thing, I see Daniel
yeah,
Parker says, are there any train the trainers opportunities? A lot of the people that come through the course are coaches and trainers that are learning these techniques in order to be able to train their staff that they work with. So absolutely.
we also have group rates. So if you want to come as a whole bunch of teachers or as a whole bunch of coaches or as an education staff, you can learn together. And then you're training each other because you're all going to experience it and interact with it and use it in your classrooms in different ways. So I hope you learned a few things here today that kind of made you go, ooh, I can try that. That's going to help. And if you're ready to go deeper, let us know. We'll have links to this in our follow-up email. I think maybe we should end on a song, Nick. What do you think?
Absolutely. Okay, let's all, if you want to stand up, you can, or sit down at your desk and do this one. We're going to tap our foot on the floor. Show me how you tap your foot. Tap one foot. Make it bounce up and down. Yee-hoo. Now tap the other foot. Make it go to town. Oh yeah. Now wiggle your shoulders. Turn yourself around. Yee-hoo. Now clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap. Stomp your feet, feet, feet. Stomp your feet, feet, feet. Clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap. Wiggle your shoulders. shoulders, turn yourself around. Yee-hoo! Thank you, Pinky. That was so much fun. Thanks to everybody who joined us today. That was awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. Bye, everybody.
Woo-hoo! See you next time, friends. Woo-hoo! Move your arms like a chicken and make a chicken sound. Move your arms like a chicken and make a chicken sound.